Hey YouTube, Geminijets 2000 here, coming at you with a fictional airport update. Sorry it's been a little while, but I got a bunch of new models in this from Christmas and some ones from after Christmas. This one time is 5:45 p.m. We're almost getting to the Delta rush. There's a lot of Deltas, but not as many as there could be. Just a little information about the fictional airport here, if you don't know. I'm pretending it's located in a fictional city, kind of in southeastern Washington, kind of where Pasco is currently. Kind of southeast Washington, about 45-minute flight from Portland and about a 45 to an hour-minute flight from Seattle. And actually there would be a city big enough to support this size of an airport. It's just a little information on it. It's a major hub for Delta, Alaska, and a growing hub for United. United just went from focus city status to hub status. Then we also got large operations of Frontier and JetBlue, and Sun Country. So let's get started. First off, lined up and waiting here on runway 10 left is the Emirates A380. He's heading out to Dubai. He's running about 30 minutes late. Not too uncommon for international flights though. Off next here is a Delta 717, and he's number 2 for takeoff, and he's going to be heading out to Seattle. He's a 5:30 p.m. departure. Next here is a Delta 737-800, and he just pushed out a gate D9 here, and he's heading out to Minneapolis-St. Paul, a 5:40 p.m. departure. Right here's an Airlines A330-300 heading out to Dublin, also running about 15-20 minutes late. And right here's the Korean Air Cargo 747 freighter, which came in from Miami and is heading out to Anchorage. I want this 787-9 Dreamliner, and he just arrived in from Sydney. He's going to be waiting for the British Airways 747 to push out, and he will be going out to Sydney at around 10 p.m. Then right here is the United 787-10 Dreamliner. He just touched down in from Singapore, Changi. And he will be taking gate over here in the A concourse when the Scandinavian A350 pushes. Then he will be heading out to Tel Aviv at 10 p.m. for the United 787-10. Onto the E concourse here with American, One World, and some Deltas. We have a Delta CRJ-700 going to be heading out to Sun Valley, Idaho, and he arrived in from Spokane, Washington. Right here's the CRJ-900 for Delta, which is going to be heading out to Vancouver, British Columbia, and he arrived in from Billings, Montana. Here at Gate Echo 5 is the British Airways 747-400, going to be departing out to London Heathrow. Just pulling into Gate E4 here is an American A321, and he just arrived in from Charlotte, and he will get towed off the gate in 30 minutes, then head out to Philadelphia on a red-eye at 11 p.m. And once again, it's 5:45 p.m. at the airport here. I redid my schedule actually to make it a little more realistic. It's more of a gate sheet type style, where each column going down is an hour, and then each way going this way is a gate space. So that's kind of cool. Then right here is an American A321, which is in from Los Angeles, and he's doing a Los Angeles turn, so he's heading back there. And right here's a Delta Connection Embraer 170, and he's heading out to Great Falls, and he arrived in from Reno. The gate is pushed back, and they're just waiting for pushback clearance. They'll have to wait for a Korean Air to get out of the way. And right here is the British Airways 787-9, which is going to be heading out to London Gatwick. And it's cool that I have both British Airways here in this time period, so that's cool. Right here, D1 is a Delta 737-800. He's heading out to Atlanta. He is a 5:55 departure, so in 10 minutes, and he arrived in from Portland. Right here's a Delta 8220, and he's going to be heading out to San Antonio. He arrived in from San Jose, California. Empty gate here where the Delta 717 already pushed out of. That one right there. We have a Norwegian 787-9 Dreamliner. He just arrived in from Stockholm, and he'll be heading out to Copenhagen. Empty gate here where the 737 pushed out of. And then right here's the Delta 777-200LR just pushing out for Amsterdam Schiphol. And he arrived in from Tokyo Haneda 2 hours ago. And then also just waiting for pushback clearance is a Virgin Atlantic 787-9 Dreamliner, which is going to be heading out to London Heathrow. We'll just have to wait for the 717 to get out of the way. And taxiing up to the runways in Alaska, 737-800. He arrived in from Vancouver, British Columbia a little earlier, and now he's taxiing out for his flight out to Chicago O'Hare. Gate D15 here is Delta's A350, which arrives in from Shanghai, and will be heading out to Barcelona at 7 p.m. Just getting ready to push here is a Delta 717, and he is heading out to Denver, Colorado, and he came in from Aspen. And this A320 here is going to be heading out to Nashville, and he arrived in from Salt Lake City. Next here at D12 is a China Southern 777-300ER, and he arrived in from Guangzhou about an hour ago, and he'll be heading back there at 1 a.m. And right here is the Air Tahiti Nui 787-9 Dreamliner, and he just arrived in from Tahiti, Papeete, and he'll be heading out to back to Papeete at 9 p.m. And behind him there is the China Eastern A330-200. He just arrived in from Shanghai. He'll be heading back there at around 1 a.m. He's just waiting for this Eurowings A330 to push off. Right here, gate D8 is a Delta 767-300ER. He's going to be heading out to Frankfurt at 6:20. He arrived in from Madrid about an hour and a half ago. Right here is a Delta A319, which is going to be heading out to Salt Lake City. And he arrived in from Omaha for the Delta A319. Next to him here is the Eurowings A330-200. And he is going to be heading out to Dusseldorf in just about 25 minutes. So the China Eastern has a little time to wait because he's early. Right here's a Delta 737-900ER, final aircraft for the Deltas. He's heading out to Los Angeles, and he arrived in from San Diego. Now off to Concourse C, starting with the satellite gates. Here we have a Spirit A319, which is heading out to Las Vegas, and he came in from Dallas-Fort Worth. Next here is a Frontier A321. He is in from Atlanta, and he's going to be heading out to Cleveland here in just a few minutes. Next to it here is a Sun Country 737-800. This is the new one made by NG Models. And he arrived in from Acapulco. He's getting fueled up for LAX. These three here, they do international inbounds, and the passengers get bused to the terminal for customs. So there's this guy getting heavily serviced. Here's another 737-800 for Sun Country. And he just arrived in from Mazatlan, and then he'll be getting towed off the gate for a departure in the morning. And then right here is an Alaska 737-900ER. And he arrived in from Mexico City about 30 minutes ago. They're all done downloading, and he'll be heading out to San Jose in an hour. Finally here for the satellite gates, we have an Alaska Q400 in the Horizon Retro livery. And he is in from Redmond, and he'll be heading out to Reno. Now off to the C concourse here, starting with the Alaska 737 in the Spirit of Seattle livery down there. And he is in from Los Angeles, and he's going to be heading out to San Francisco. 320 next to him is in from Baltimore, and he's heading out to Dallas. Empty gate here, 319 for Alaska, and he's going to be heading out to San Diego, and he came in from Phoenix Sky Harbor. Another empty gate for Alaska, 737-800 for Alaska, and he's in from Nashville and is heading out to Salt Lake City. Alaska 737-900 right here, and he is in from Las Vegas, and he's heading out to Los Angeles. And right here is an Alaska A321neo in from JFK, and he's heading out to Palm Springs. Off to the regional section here for Alaska. We have a E175, and he's heading out to Dallas Love Field, and he came in from Omaha. Another E175 for Alaska, and he came in from Santa Barbara and is heading out to Ontario. And final E175 for Alaska here, he came in from Billings and is heading out to Santa Rosa. Next here, two Q400s. The first one here is heading out to Portland, and he came in from Seattle. And this one here is going to be heading out to Eugene, Oregon, and he came in from Oakland. Next here is the United 737-800 in the new livery. He just arrived in from Puerto Vallarta, 6 p.m. scheduled arrival, so he's 15 minutes early. And then he'll be heading out to San Francisco at 6:55 p.m. He's going to taxi over to Bravo 1 over there next to the Iceland Air. Next here is the Hawaiian A330. 200. He's heading out to Honolulu, 6 p.m. departure, so in just about 15 minutes. Onto the Southwest here, we have a 737-800 in from Denver, and he's heading out to Las Vegas. 737-700 in from San Diego, and he's heading out to Oakland. Another 737-800 for Southwest, and he's heading out to Sacramento, and he came in from Chicago Midway. Empty JetBlue gates right there. JetBlue, actually during this time, they don't have any flights. There's a flight arriving in from San Francisco, but that's in about 30 minutes. So off to the frontiers here. First off here is an A320 regular, and he's heading out to New Orleans. He came in from San Jose. And then we have an A320 Neo next to him heading out to San Antonio, and he arrived in from San Francisco. Here gate C7 is Southwest 737-700 Colorado Run. And he just arrived in from Phoenix Sky Harbor and is going to be heading out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right here's Alaska 737-800, still in the old livery. There's still a few of these left. He's in from Portland and he's heading out to Seattle. Next right here is a WestJet 737. This is a MAX 8, but as y'all know, I'm sure, they're all grounded, so I'm saying he's just a 737-800. And he is in from Vancouver, and he's heading out to Calgary now. Then right here is the Air New Zealand 787-9 Dreamliner. He's just getting ready to push out for Auckland, New Zealand at 6 p.m. Empty gate here where the United New Delivery 737-800 will park. Then right here is a Icelandair 757-200. He's heading out to Reykjavik, once again a 6 p.m. departure. Now onto the United's here in Terminal A and also Starlines. Right here's the United 777-200ER, and he arrived in from Shanghai about an hour and 15 minutes ago and is heading out to Tokyo Narita in 30 minutes. Right here is another new model, the Scandinavian A350. Beautiful model, you can check out my review on it. Gates are pulled back, they're just waiting to get the last bags into the bulk bin there as he heads out to he's going out to Copenhagen, and he arrived in from Copenhagen. Right here we have two A320s. Old livery A320 here is heading out to Denver, and he arrived in from San Francisco. Then right here is another A320 into Stars and Bars retro livery, and he came in from Austin, Texas, and is heading out to Portland. Just pulled into the gate here is the Air China A330-200 in from Beijing. He'll get towed off in about an hour. Then head back to Beijing after getting towed back at 1 a.m. Then right here is a United A319, which is heading out to Dallas-Fort Worth, and he came in from Sacramento. And just pushed off the gate here is United 737-900ER, going out to San Francisco. He's a San Francisco turn. He arrived in from there an hour ago. Then just going to pull into his gate is another United New Livery 737-800, which arrived in from Washington, Dulles, and will be heading out to Los Angeles in an hour. Now off to one of my favorite new models, the Turkish Airlines 787-9 Dreamliner, beautiful. And he is getting ready to go out to Istanbul. His departure time is at looks like 6:15, so just about 30 minutes. Off to the regionals here. Right here's the CRJ 550, and he's heading out to Salt Lake City, and he arrived in from Spokane, Washington. New livery, real beautiful model. And right here's an E170, which is going to be heading out to Boise, Idaho, and he arrived in from Redmond, Oregon. Next here in the hangar is the Virgin Australia 777-300ER. He arrived in from Brisbane at around 2 p.m. Then he was towed off here to get done routine maintenance, and he's heading out to Melbourne at 9 p.m. So he's got a little while here. They do scheduled maintenance on the long term. Final for the passengers, we have a French Blue, or French Brie as they're now called, A350-900. He's running real late. Flight was actually just canceled due to the crew timing out. He arrived in from Paris Orly at 12 noon and was supposed to depart to Tahiti at 2 p.m. But due to a delay, the flight had to get canceled as the crew timed out, so the flight will go out tomorrow morning. Now off to the cargos. We have a FedEx MD-11 heading out to Memphis, and he's in from Oakland. Right here is a UPS 767-300ER heading out to Ontario, California, and he arrived in from Louisville. Another UPS 757-200 here heading out to Fresno, and he came in from Chicago, Rockford. DHL 757-200 heading out to New York, JFK, and he came in from Seattle, Tacoma. And finally here, the Primair 767-300 in from Baltimore. He's going to be heading down to San Bernardino, California. So that's going to do it for this airport update here. I hope you enjoyed it. I got a few new models on the way from the new Geminijets January releases. Yeah, once again, just building up my United fleet with a new 319 and E170 along with the Southwest. Yeah, the new one. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here looking at Terminal A here. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram at Geminijets_2000. I just released a trip report of Alaska from Portland to San Francisco in premium class. I'm going to do a trip report on the United 777-300ER. I started making that. That should be out in the next couple days or so. From San Francisco out to Newark in premium plus. So stay tuned for that. And also the trip report going back on Alaska. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram at Geminijets_2000, as I already mentioned. And thank you for watching.